we're going to talk about the first edition Pathfinder Ranger. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. We are going back to Pathfinder now, and we are going to talk about possibly one of my most favorite builds for a class that is actually pretty damn close to my heart. Not quite as favored as Fighter might be, but still definitely a very, very close second, and that's the Ranger. And the build we're looking at is Treant Monk's Switch Hitter build. This is a Ranger that is good in both melee and at range, and gives you a wide variety of options for just being a massive force on the battlefield. But before we get into the details of that, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there and hit that subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already listed yourself as part of a legendary roster such as that, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now, let's go ahead and stride on into this. So, when it comes to Treant Monk's Switch Hitter build for the first edition Pathfinder Ranger, it's definitely a build that leans into strength overall, and we're going to get into the details of how to put this all together. But something to note is that this build was put together some years ago now, and there's been several updates to the first edition Pathfinder game that help to enhance this ever further. So we're going to go into that, and I'm not just totally ripping off Treant Monk here. So, to begin with, when you're starting to build this with as with any class, you are going to be picking out what race you want to play as, and as always, humans make a very excellent choice, and they actually work especially well here. They give you a +2 bonus to any stat that you want to select, and we're going to go with strength. You get an extra feat, an extra skill point at first level and every level for being human. Now, there is a variant to think about, a variant replacement for some of your baseline starting abilities and bonuses, and that's alchemically enhanced. This will give you a +3 bonus to your strength, dexterity, and constitution. The trade-off is that you take a -2 penalty to your fortitude saves versus poison. Also, you will lose your bonus feat and the +2 bonus that you're able to assign to any stat. Overall, the only thing that really hurts there is the bonus feat, but that +3 bonus to those 3 stats, especially if you're in a point buy kind of system, this will help to move a lot of points around for you and help you to shore up your stats in other areas. So definitely something worth thinking about. That +3 bonus to strength, dexterity, and constitution is very possibly worth the extra feat. But then our next option is the Half-Elf, and Half-Elf also gets a +2 bonus to any stat. They gain low light vision, immunity to sleep, and a +2 bonus to their saves against enchantment effects, and they gain a +2 bonus on perception checks, and they get the skill bonus feat for free. Skill focus feat for free. Skill bonus, But that feat is kind of okay in and of itself. The fact that you get it for free is what's really nice here, and you can put this towards a skill like, perception, and really up that and make you very, very good at spotting those hidden things that might be trying to evade your sight. And then a next option, might be a surprising one for some of you, is the Hobgoblin. Hobgoblins gain a +2 bonus to their dexterity and their constitution, and they get dark vision out to 60 feet, and especially nice is a +4 racial bonus on their stealth skill checks, which is fantastic. You will definitely be incredibly sneaky, especially when you consider that a +2 to dex gives you a +1 bonus to your stealth skill. So you're getting a +5 bonus just by being a Hobgoblin. That's all the way around really, really great. Not the most important skill, but definitely a very useful one. And the last race option that we have here is the Oread. And you gain a +2 bonus to your strength and wisdom scores and a -2 to charisma, which is not that bad of a hit at all for us. You also gain a 20 feet speed instead of the 30 that the other races get, but you also get an acid resistance of 5. You can cast Magic Stone 1 time a day, which the save DC is 11 plus your Charisma modifier, and you gain Dark Vision out to 60 feet. So both of those, Hobgoblin and Aurea, do really, really, really good for you, especially if you're fighting at night in any way, shape, or form and using your ranged options. And with the switch hitter build, we will be using our ranged options. So after we've selected all of this, we need to move on to our stats. And most important are going to be your strength and constitution scores. Strength, try to get up as high as you possibly can. 18 is ideal. Then your constitution score should be at a 13, and this ties with your dexterity and wisdom, both of which will be at 13, but you want to enhance your constitution after you enhance your strength. So whatever means you can do that with if you feel the need to put your ability score increases into constitution, it's not going to be a bad option for you, though I would consider strength first and look at items that boost your constitution, and then follow up with your dexterity and wisdom. Intelligence, not too super worried about that. If you're human, you're getting extra skill points anyways every level, and you can also put your favorite class bonus towards getting the occasional extra skill point if you're not interested in boosting your hit points. And then lastly, Charisma. Charisma is going to be a dump stat for us. We're not worried about Charisma at all. Charisma does nothing for a ranger. You're not looking to make friends. You're looking to get into melee, deal some damage, and when you're at range, you're going to have some solid ranged options. And you will also have some decent spell casting with your wisdom score. Now, all of this setup here assumes that you have a 25-point buy for your stats. This is before any stat modifiers as well. If you're using fewer points or are rolling for your stats, then follow this particular order here. This will help you to kind of prioritize what exactly it is you're trying to do. And with the switch hitter build, well, you'll see how that all unfolds as we move further in. But there is one thing that I do need to bring up here, and it's something that I keep forgetting is a thing in Pathfinder, and also this didn't come up in Treant Monk's original switch hitter build because, well, traits just weren't a thing at the time, and I keep forgetting traits are a thing that you're able to do as part of your character creation because, well, one, when I picked up Pathfinder, they weren't a thing at the time, and also I kind of do this already as a thing that is specific to my characters, or to my players' characters, and the builds that they're going for, and their personalities, and all of those details, so it's something that meshes in pretty nicely. But traits are a great way of further enhancing and differentiating your characters, so I really recommend you pick them up. And the first one I would really recommend is Magical Knack. You pick a class, in our case, Ranger, and you gain a +2 caster level bonus as long as it doesn't raise your caster level above your hit dice. This will help to really make your spellcasting more effective in that your various buffs or effects will last for longer. And given that we stop at 4th level spells, you're not going to raise your spellcasting above your caster level. You're a delayed spellcaster, and you're not even a full spellcaster at that. But the next option is Tracker of the Society. You gain a +1 bonus on initiative and a +2 bonus on survival while traveling through any of your favored terrains. And for those of you who are new, favored terrains are a class feature of the Ranger class. And it essentially represents your ability to move through terrain, perceive things, notice things that are out of place, because these are terrains and locales and environments that you're most familiar with. So you know how to operate and function in them and spot anything off that might be caused by those who are less familiar. And then lastly, and this is probably the next most important one behind Magical Knack, is Armor Expert. When you wear any armor, you reduce the check penalty by 1 to a minimum of 0, and this will be very useful to you, especially if you're leaning into skills like stealth, or you need to make regular swim or climb checks, because armor can impose a penalty on those skill checks. So definitely a very handy and useful option to have in your tool belt. But what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Do you like this build so far? Do you like the race selections, the stat layout, and the traits that I've laid out before you here? Or do you disagree? Are there things that you might suggest? Anything that you'd do differently, or any traits that you really like? Go on down to the comments below and we'll engage in discussion. And also, hit those like or dislike buttons as you will, and also, if you're new here to the channel, like I said earlier, go on down there and hit the subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.